In this video, I'll be going through the most important steps you need to take in order for you to get started with the Divi theme. So first of all, you want to make sure that you activate automatic updates. So let me show you quickly how to do that. So once you've bought Divi, you need to log into your admin dashboard and I'll show you what it looks like. So here I am, I'm actually logged into my members area right here. And if you haven't logged in, all you have to do is to come over here to the top right, click on login, enter your username and password. That's the username and password that you'd have used to purchase Divi. And by the way, if you haven't purchased Divi yet, this is the best page builder out there in terms of value and also ease of use. So I highly recommend it if you're serious about designing professional looking websites. And by the way, that's my opinion. And also, if you haven't started designing websites using WordPress, I have a free course which you can access right away by going to the description below. There's a link in there. You can access that full WordPress course absolutely free. So go ahead and check it out. Okay, moving on. So over here, what you want to do is to come to your account and then you want to go to where it says your API key. Now, this is very, very important. This API key is very, very important. So once you've copied that, you want to come over here to your WordPress admin dashboard, all the way down here to Divi. You want to come over here, click on theme options. All the way up here, we have updates. So you click on updates and this is where you enter your username and your API key. So once you've done that, every time Divi has an update, you will get it automatically and you'll be able to update it. And this is very, very important because some of these updates are actually security updates or even feature updates. So you don't want to lose out. So let's say you've installed your website, it's running okay, you've updated Divi and something goes wrong. Well, you shouldn't panic because there's a roll back to previous version button here. So once you click that, it'll take you back to the version that worked okay. And this is why it's important that you enter your API key and your username to get these updates. So you will also get this feature to roll back. Moving on. So what you want to do next now is the colors. So the colors are also very, very important. And when you start using Divi, you don't want to be adding your colors over and over again as you're designing your page. You want to add all your colors right in the beginning. So let's say you've got your color palette, you're all ready, you want to enter your colors. All you have to do is to come over here to general, and this is your default color palette. So all you have to do now is to click here and change these colors. Okay, so let's say here you want to add an F2, F2, F2. So this is where you add it. So every time you go into your Divi pages, these colors will be readily there for you. Now, the one thing that I also do in terms of colors is to use some services out there that make it easier for me to choose color palettes. And one of them is colors.co. In fact, let me go to the URL here. There we go. So this is the website. So it helps you choose color palettes. So in my case here, let's say, for example, I'm happy with this color palette right here. So all I'll have to do is to come here, choose my color by copying it. And then I come over here to my theme options, general, and this is where I would add my color. So I'm going to add my color here. So I'm just going to do two more just to show you how easy it is to do. So let's say my next color is this one here. I'm going to choose it, copy it, and then I'm going to come over here and paste it. So you want to do that with all your colors that you are going to be using on your website, and these are your branding colors. So once you're done with that, you on the top here, you have your save changes button. So you want to save that. Great. So now that you have your colors in place, the next thing you want to do is to set up your global fonts. So let me show you how to do that. So to do that, you want to come over here to Theme Customizer. So by default, Divi has a font that it uses across your website, but you want to be using your own types of fonts. So over here, you can specify what fonts they are. So I'm going to start here with general settings, typography, and this is where you can choose your body font. So you can see here, it says default theme. So let's say my font is called Poppins. I would scroll all the way down here, find my font. Here we go, Poppins. So that will be my header font. And I can also come here and define my body font as well. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to choose, this time I'm going to choose Lato. Okay, I'm going to choose that. And also here you can add your link color, your body text color. Now the advantage of doing this is you don't have to go in and start making all these changes. This is is going to speed up your workflow. It's very, very important that you do this right in the get-go. Okay, so once you've added all your fonts here, there's also other settings that you can do. So I'm just going to click here on publish so that my settings will be added, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to go to my layout settings, and this is where you can specify how you want the size of your width to be. And right now it's set at 1080. Now I usually like this at 1280. My theme color here, this will be a color that works with my color palette. So let's say my theme color here is this one. I'll just go ahead and just choose that by copying it, and then I'm going to come over here and paste it. Okay, so I'm going to paste it right here. So that's going to be my theme color. And back over here, we can also go to the background if you want to add a background to your website, but normally I leave that as it is. Now, these are the quick settings that you need to get you up and running fast. So I'm going to click here on publish. So what we've done so far is we've added our API key so we can get our automatic updates. We've also have the ability now to roll back in case something goes wrong with our setups and our update. Secondly, we also did our initial colors to our website so that it's easy for us to find them as we're designing our website. And now we've just added our global fonts and sizes. Okay, so now let me show you how to quickly start building your pages and your posts. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and just close here. So to add your page, it's very easy. All you have to do is to come over here to pages and then click on add new. Right, so this is where you give your page a name. So I'm just going to call this my page test. Okay, so because Divi has all these extra features, you might as well go in and click on use Divi Builder. So I'm going to click here on use Divi Builder. Now, this stage here may be quite frightening if you haven't used Divi before, but you know what? It's very, very easy to understand, and I'm just about to explain this to you. So first of all, you have three options. You can build from scratch. You can build from a pre-made layout. Now, Divi has a ton of pre-made layouts which you can use as your starting point when you design your websites. And you can also clone an existing page, and this saves you a lot of time when it comes to working on your websites. So I want to show you these three and show you how easy it is to use them. So I'm going to come over here, build from scratch. So over here, the main thing that you need to make note of is the sections. The sections are what separates all your main content on your page. So over here, let's say I want to add a color to this. I can always click here on the settings, background, and I can add my background color. Now notice that the colors that I added are already here. So let's say this is my first color right here. I can just save that. Now I need to add my rows. Okay, now this is very important. The rows are what keeps all your modules in place. So let me show you what that looks like. So if I clicked on this plus button here, we have different layout options, so column options. So we have one column, we have two equal columns, three columns, and so on. So let's say we're going to go with these three equal columns. I can just choose that. Now that we have those three equal columns, we can start adding all our modules in. Okay, so here I can click this plus button, and let's say my first module is going to be a blurb. I can just click on here, and that is my blurb. Now you can go in and start customizing it. So the first tab here is your content. This is where you add all your content. So let's start here and say, this is my content. Okay, and here you can also type in and add whatever it is you want to add. Now over here, you have an option of either adding an image or an icon. So if I click here, I can swap this image for an icon. So let's say I'm going to go with, all right, let's go with, let's say this camera icon. Okay. Now over here, you have the option to link. So when someone comes onto this website, they can actually link, click on this icon, and they're actually linked to whatever page it is that you want to link them to. Okay, so this is very important. That option is there. So let's say all our content is in place. We're happy with all of that. Now it's time to come to the design. So you click here on the design. Now the design tab is important because this is where we add the colors, the layout, the alignment, and so on. So let me just show you quickly what you can do with this icon now that we have it here. So there's two ways to navigate this. So first of all, Divi has made it very, very easy for us to pinpoint exactly what we need to make changes to. So if you mouse over here on this blurb, you'll notice that you have this paintbrush tool. If you click on that, it takes you specifically to that part or to those options where you can change that particular item it is that you want to change. So let's start by changing the color of this icon. So I'm going to come over here, choose my color. Okay, so let's say my next item I need to work on is the heading here. Again, I'm going to mouse over here, click this brush tool, And now I have the ability to center it. I can come over here and I can change my font weight to bold. I can also make it bigger. So let's say I'm done with that. Now, when I started using Divi, this was quite confusing for me because I'll be like, okay, I need to work on my text now. Where do I go? Because there's all these things here in place. Well, you don't need to worry, because if you just remember to come over here and mouse over this area and then click here, that will take you directly to whatever it is that you want to do your edits to. So now that I've clicked on this paintbrush tool, now I have to align this because everything else is aligned, which is great. And I'm going to change the color as well. So I'm going to choose my color here. And let's say I want to make it semi-bold. There we go. It's semi-bold. And so it's very, very easy to go in and quickly change this. Now, as you're building your website like this, it's also good to learn some shortcuts. And one of the most important keyboard shortcuts is copy and paste. So that is Control-C, Control-V. If you're on a PC, if you're on a Mac, it's Command-C, Command-V. So let me do that one more time. If you're on a PC, it's Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. If you're on a Mac, it's Command-C to copy, Command-V to paste. Right, so let me do one more change here. This icon is really too big, so I'm just going to come back over here and click this brush tool, right? And now I'm going to come to use icon font size, reduce the size a little bit to about 60. So I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and save. So to save me time to go through and make all those changes again, all I have to do now is to just put my mouse over this area here until I see my panel here for the settings. I hit Command-C because I'm on a Mac. And then over here, I can just hit Command-V to paste. So that's how easy it is to just copy and paste. So all you have to do now that I've copied and pasted it, I can just come over here. And then I can go in now and change my icon. So I'm going to come over here to my image and icon and change my icon maybe to this hard drive, like that. So that's how easy it is. Learn the shortcuts, and also always remember that when you open the settings tab, that gives you access to make changes to that particular item that you want to make changes to. So let's say you want to go in and extend the size of this row. All you have to do is to remember to go to the settings icon, click on it, and then over here I can go in now and click on design, sizing, and I can make this full width if I want to. So now you can see it's covering my full width. And let's say I want to add my color, a color to this background. All I have to do is to come back over here to content, look for background, and then I'm going to add my background color. So let's say that's my background color right there. You can see it's just been applied right away. So now that I have it in there, I can always go in and start playing around with, different options. So let's say I want to add some padding to this. I can click here on design. Right now, it may seem like it's easy for me to just navigate through this because I know all these things that I'm adding on. Now, let's say you know what it is you want to add in, but you don't know where it is. Now, here's the thing. There's also a search feature here where it says search options. So now if I start typing padding, right away, my padding options now start showing up. So let's say I need 20 at the top. I'm going to activate this chain to add 20 to the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same to the left and the right. So now you can see I've added my padding. Now, the other thing that you can also do is to use the dial. So if I click on this dial here, you can see my padding is increasing. So let's do the same here. Let's say 44. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and save. Now, here's the thing. The text that I added in earlier on is the wrong color because it's matching my background color here. So we definitely need to go in and change that. So how do we do that? So again, I'm going to mouse over this area, click on this gear icon, and now that takes me into my text settings. Now I can go in and add or change my text color. So over here, I'm just going to click on this brush tool, change my color, come over here, click on the brush tool, change my color as well, save that. Okay, now if I need to copy and paste this again, I can just hit Command-C, over here to the right, Command-V. Okay, so right now there's also other shortcuts, but these now are way more advanced. So if you want to learn more of all these shortcuts, because bear in mind, this video is just to get you up and running, getting you started. If you want to learn more about all these shortcuts and all the great ways you can use Divi, I have a course which has a huge discount. It's on macuniversity.com. I would leave the link in the comments box below so that you can, go and have a look at that. It covers pretty much everything that you need to know about Divi. It covers pretty much from getting started, how to build your website, and the best practices of building professional looking websites. Okay, so let me just finalize by giving you one advanced tip here. So if I right click here, I can actually copy module styles, and then if I come over here, I can paste the module styles, and now you can see that everything now matches. Okay, so this is how you will build a page from scratch. So let me add one more thing here. So let's add a new section. So if I click here on this plus button, I can add a regular section, and this time I'm going to go with 2/3, 1/3. So I'm going to choose that. So let's say I want to add a video to this. I just click this plus button, search for my video like that, select it. And now I have my video. So if you want to add your own video, again, that's very, very straightforward. All you have to do is to come over here and add your URL. So this could be maybe from YouTube. It could be from Vimeo, wherever it is. This is where you add your URL. Okay, so insert from URL, you paste your URL here, and that URL will be added. Now, here's another thing, and this is one thing I really like about the video module. If you come over here to overlay, you are able now to add an image overlay, because maybe this is a bit too busy and you want to make it look a bit more professional. So if you come over here, you can actually add an image overlay. So I've just clicked on that. So let's say the image overlay I'm going to go with is, okay, let's go with this one here. Upload an image. Now notice now that looks really, really nice. And if you mouse over it, it makes this button, the play button here, appear even much easier it makes it easier to actually see it. Okay. So that's how you add that. I'm going to save. And let's say you want this section here to be on the top. Remember, Divi is drag and drop as well. So you can click here on this, on the end, drag it all the way to the top. And there you go. Now you have your video at the top, and you have this part here at the bottom. So this is how easy it is to build your pages from scratch. Now, let's move on to the next thing. And this is now building your page from a pre-made layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this page by hitting Command S. That's also another shortcut that you may want to use. It's Command S. If you're on a PC, it's Control S. And then we're going to exit the Visual Builder. Right, so every time you want to add a new page, what you want to do is to come back over here, or right here at the top, click on Page. So let's call this page Pre-Made. Okay. So I'm going to click on Use Divi Builder. So again, we're going to get those three options. So over here, I'm going to click on Choose Pre-Made Layout. Now, there's a lot of pre-made layouts here, and they are all being produced every week. So there's hundreds to choose from. And in fact, there's 776 in total. Now, this could be a very, very good starting point. Over here on the left, we also have the different categories that you can choose. So sometimes if you know exactly where you want to go, you can just click here, let's say business, and this narrows down to the business stuff. So let's say what you need to work on is a design agency. So you can just click here on this layout pack and choose what page you want to work on. So right now, we have the about, the blog, the case study, we have the contact, the portfolio, landing page, and so on, and the home page as well. So let's say we want to work on a landing page. Okay, you can just choose this landing page and then click on use this layout. Now, as soon as you click use this layout, that layout now is going to be downloaded onto the page that you've just created. So all you have to do now is to go in, swap all the images that come in with the pre-made layout and use your own images. And also, if you're not happy with the colors, you can also change those colors around. So let me show you how quickly you can go in and make those changes. So right now, this is what we have. Great, so you can change this text by doing inline editing. So you can actually come in here and override that. We are a design agency. Okay, so that's called inline editing. Now over here, you can go in and change those colors as well. Now, sometimes when you take a look at this, it may look overwhelming because you don't know what has been changed. You don't know how this was put together. Now, let me show you quickly how you can go in and start using this fast. So all you have to do is perhaps you want to go into the rows. You can click here on row settings. And then you have this filter here. If you click here on this filter, you go to modified styles. So as soon as you click modified styles, there's no more guesswork. Now you know exactly where you need to go in to make those changes. So right now, let's say I want to change this color. I can just delete this, go in, choose my color. So let's say this is my color. Can you see how quickly it is? I've gone in and changed that color. I can also play around with different options. So let's say these are the colors for my branding. That's the color I would go with. But it's very, very easy to go in and make your changes. So I've added my color, and over here I can see that they chose this image. So let's say I want to use my own image. I can always go in and choose my own image. So let's say the image I'm going to go with is this one here. Upload an image. So now you can see my images right here in the background. So just with a few clicks, I've actually started changing this layout to make it my own layout. So this has saved me a lot of time to start designing my pages from scratch. And this is why using these pre-made layouts is very, very important. So over here, you may decide, okay, this text here may need changing. So you can click here on the settings. And then again, you see that paintbrush tool. You click on that, you come over here to your colors, and boom, now you've changed the colors. Okay, let's say you want to change the size of the text. You can always go in here, reduce the size to about 17, save that. Okay, and then you move on to the next section, make those changes until you're happy with how your page looks like. So you can see here, it's very, very easy to use. So pre-made layouts are very, very important. They also have their place. Okay, so we've done a pre-made layout. Now let me show you the third way you can actually design your pages using Divi. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Again, I'm going to hit Command S because I'm on a Mac. If you're on a PC, it's Control S. Great. So I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. Right, so on the top here, I'm just going to come over here where it says New, click on Page, and I am going to call this Clone. Use Divi Builder. And again, I'm going to get those three options. So now I can choose the page I need to clone. So I'm going to click here. So this now shows all my existing pages on my website. So let's say I want to go with my tutorial. I'm going to go with that one. Okay, so now I've just cloned that page. All I have to do now is to publish it. Or if I need to go in and make some edits, I can always go in and make those edits. So pretty much this is how easy it is to really get started with the Divi theme, and it's very, very easy to use. And as I mentioned before, if you want to learn how to design awesome looking websites, I have a course on macuniversity.com, or you may want to consider even joining the membership, which is only $17 per month. You have access to all my courses on there. More information on that is in the description below. And if you're just getting started, I have a free WordPress course. That course again will be linked in the show notes below. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments box below, and I'll do my best to respond to your questions. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.